In a remote valley in northwestern Wyoming, snow gently falls onto the rooftops of multi-million-dollar homes. Luxury SUVs line the main streets. But Jackson Hole isn't just a picturesque ski town. This place is often called the richest town in America. Why? Because here, billionaires build vacation homes, while the workers who keep the town running must commute dozens of miles each day just to get by. It might sound like something out of a movie, but this is real. A small mountain town that has become the most visible symbol of modern-day inequality, nestled in a landscape too breathtaking to blame. So, what is life really like here? Welcome to Jackson Hole, America's richest town, full of beauty and contradiction. Jackson Hole isn't large. It covers just 2.9 square miles and is home to fewer than 11,000 residents. Located in Teton County, this mountain valley sits between the dramatic peaks of the Grand Tetons, earning its reputation as a high-end resort town with crisp air and postcard-perfect views. There are 3 iconic ski destinations here: Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, Snow King Mountain Resort, and Grand Targhee Resort, each drawing winter tourists from across the globe. But here's the catch. Over 97% of the land surrounding Jackson Hole is publicly owned. National parks, protected lands, and wilderness areas. That leaves just 3% of land for private use. In other words, space here is extremely limited, which makes every square foot exponentially more expensive and unbelievably exclusive. Even the airport reflects this contrast. Jackson Hole Airport is the only airport in America located inside a national park. But don't expect giant concrete terminals. Travelers here are greeted by wood-framed buildings set against snowy peaks. It's a gateway built for the elite, close to nature, but never far from the comfort of a private jet. If you're wondering who calls Jackson Hole home, let's just say, this isn't your typical resort town. This is the playground of billionaires. From Elon Musk, Kanye West, to the Kardashian family, they've all either bought or stayed here. Even Harrison Ford, the legendary actor behind Star Wars and Indiana Jones, reportedly lives quietly somewhere in this secluded valley. But it's not just celebrities. Wall Street investors, tech moguls, and retired billionaires, including business magnate John Mars, have made Jackson their go-to vacation retreat or even their permanent home. Why? Taxes. The state of Wyoming charges no income tax, no estate tax, and no capital gains tax. For those with billions in assets, moving to Jackson Hole can mean saving millions of dollars every single year. But there's more to it than money. Privacy. Unlike the glitz of Aspen or the spotlight of Malibu, Jackson stays quiet, hidden, guarded by nature itself. Private, peaceful, protected. And as you probably guessed, real estate here is absurdly expensive. The average home price exceeds $5 million, with many listings going well into the tens of millions. It's not unusual for a single property to sell for $20 million or more. But what truly drives prices sky high? Land is insanely limited. As mentioned before, 97% of the surrounding area is federally protected, meaning only 3% of the entire valley is available for private development. That's a perfect recipe for soaring prices. Ultra-limited supply plus ultra-wealthy demand equals real estate prices as high as the Grand Tetons themselves. But behind the luxury and exclusivity lies a harsh truth. Jackson Hole has the highest income inequality in all of the United States. According to Business Insider, the top 1% in Teton County earns an average of $16 million per year, while the remaining 99% only about $120,000, and that includes a handful of successful small business owners. That's a 132 to 1 income gap. Forbes once named Jackson Hole as the region with America's most extreme wealth divide, and make no mistake, everyone in town knows it. But not everyone can do something about it. So, what does everyday life look like for the locals who actually live and work here? Life in Jackson Hole wouldn't function without the people who keep the town running. Chefs and wait staff, delivery drivers, baristas, shuttle operators, maintenance crews, construction workers, even school teachers. They're the backbone of the community, and yet, ironically, most of them can't afford to live in the town they serve. That's right. Many workers commute long distances every morning from places like Teton Valley, Idaho, or other small towns. They drive over winding mountain roads, often in harsh weather, just to get to work on time. Some share beds in shifts due to overcrowding. Others live in their cars or rent tiny trailers for exorbitant prices. Meanwhile, the average annual salary for these essential workers is just $53,000. These stories aren't outliers. They're becoming the new normal in Jackson Hole. As real estate prices skyrocket, even multi-generational locals are being pushed out. Family land is sold. Childhood homes change hands. And slowly but surely, the town's original community begins to disappear. On one side, Jackson Hole is a small town with world-class ski resorts. Famous spots like Corbett's Couloir draw professional skiers and thrill seekers from around the world. You'll find 5-star restaurants next to outdoor boutiques, where jackets cost as much as a month's salary. Heli skiing and backcountry tours are just another Tuesday for those who can afford them. At the town square, arches made of elk antlers greet visitors, collected naturally from the nearby National Elk Refuge. Art lovers flock to the National Museum of Wildlife Art, where you'll find pieces by Andy Warhol and Georgia O'Keeffe. To the north lies Grand Teton National Park, and just beyond, the legendary Yellowstone National Park. But even with all this grandeur, Jackson still carries the spirit of the Old West, its frontier identity, cowboy culture, and a humble, tight-knit community. In historic bars, local bluegrass bands still play live sets. Old shops continue to sell traditional gear with warm, family-style service. And every weekend, farmers from across the valley bring fresh produce to the market, speaking with the thick rural accent of Wyoming. These two worlds exist side by side, sometimes colliding, often ignoring each other. Newcomers bring a sleek, efficient urban lifestyle, while longtime residents cling to a slower, warmer rhythm of life, the kind that can't be bought with money. Season after season, Jackson Hole continues to earn its title as one of the most beautiful towns in America. It's easy to see why. Breathtaking landscapes, a well-managed community, and an economy that seems to thrive. But behind that success lies a dilemma that's hard to ignore. Yes, the town has attracted an incredible amount of wealth, but it hasn't figured out how to share the benefits across all levels of society. Philanthropy is alive and well here. Many billionaires donate to causes like wildlife conservation, the arts, and education. But when it comes to basic needs, like affordable housing or healthcare access for the working class, efforts often fall short of what's truly needed. In the end, Jackson Hole stands between two worlds that more often turn their backs to one another. It is a symbol of preserved beauty, and at the same time, a stark portrait of modern inequality, deepened by an economic system that allows wealth to concentrate without bounds. This town can leave anyone in awe, but it can also leave many feeling unwelcome. So perhaps the real question isn't who wants to live in Jackson Hole, but rather who actually can, and more importantly, who's allowed to stay.